Hey everyone, welcome back. We have an exclusive video today, or I should say videos. All the videos will start with this introduction. This introduction will be for the overall collection, and then each video will be dedicated to an eyeshadow. What am I talking about? Chanel, of course. Chanel Boutons collection. I am destroying the French, I know that. It's the Ombre Bouton, B-O-U-T-O-N. And this is a very limited edition collection. I'm going to go through the details of the collection, and then I'm going to focus on a quad for each video. So again, this part will all be the same in every single video. So you can, once you watch it once, you can fast forward it in the other videos, or I'll have timestamps so you can focus on the color story that you're interested in. For the first time, two house symbols come together in this limited edition creation. The Les Ombres palette and the Chanel button. 4 collectible color harmonies created to dress up eyes, imagined by Amy Dramé, member of the Comets Collective and the Chanel Makeup Creation Studio. A hallmark of Chanel style, the button adds an elegant touch to the house fashion designs. If you collect or wear Chanel ready-to-wear, you'll know the buttons are a big part of that. The palettes feature 4 hues, each embossed with a unique pattern that evokes a different Chanel button. Exclusive sleeves keep the compacts protected so they can go everywhere you do. I'm going to show you the sleeves. Each sleeve is different. There is 209, so I'll show all of them up when we do this overview part, and then again, each video will have one particular eyeshadow. So I'm going to do eye looks with each of them. My poor eyes. Okay, 209. This is Bouton Mademoiselle. It includes soft and luminous shades, a light pink, a peachy pink, an understated taupe, and a sheer pearlescent ivory beige. The 219 is Bouton Couture. It contains sophisticated and timeless shades, a purplish brown, a warm beige, a deep brown with reddish accents, and a metallic mauvey taupe. I think this one is going to be the most popular one. That's just my take. And it's probably the most pigmented from what I can see so far. 229 is Boutons Stellaire, which mixes the magic and splendor of the stars with a rich, deep copper, a delicate light gold color, a dazzling silver blue, and a light ashy beige. And last but not least, 239, a Bouton Baroque. It incorporates precious shades with a shiny satin pink, a subtle orangey gold hue, a coppery red, and a shimmery magenta purple. Again, being Baroque, you know, Baroque over the top, lots of detail, lots of design. This is the one that has the most colors in it and is probably the one that is least safe. That's not, you know what I'm looking for when I'm trying to say that. Okay, each one has its own sleeve. So I will show you for each one in this overview video so you can see them. I want to make sure I have them right because each one is different. Okay, so 209, the Mademoiselle, has this sleeve. Putting it right back in its little case so I know. And then 219 Couture has this sleeve. 229 Stellaire has this sleeve. And 239 Baroque has this sleeve. These are all black velvet. I swatch these on my arm and I'll do it in numerical order: 209, 219, 229, and 239. I do want to mention I picked up this ridiculously expensive, and I mean ridiculous. This is as expensive as all 4 eyeshadows. It comes with a leather case with the little Chanel, this you see on the front. I'll take the little sticker off. This is the Sublimage Lip Care Oil. This is incredibly good. It is lip care oil enriched with vanilla planifolia and sortia extracts combined with a powerful peptide. Presented in a leather and tweed, created in an exclusive partnership with Maison Lesage. Yes, there's tweed on the inside of the case. Gold tweed. So that's part of it why it's expensive. The other part of why it's expensive, it's like a gold, and I don't know if this is 24 karat gold plated or not, I have to check. But it has a lip, you know, like a doe foot that's just all metal. to put the lip oil on your lips. I am trying this because I am at the end of my rope with my lips. They are so ridiculously dry, even in the summer, and it's super humid. And I'm at the point where I will try anything. So I am gonna try this and see if it works, and I will let you know. I've tried many, many lip products, and they tend to work for a short period of time, and then they don't. So we'll see how this goes. All right, so let's swatch 209, Bye-Bye to the Embossing. As I do this, make sure I have it yet. As I do this, I want to say about the embossing, guys, the embossing is beautiful. You will see I love what they did with the, the cases and the embossing. It's great. But once you use them, the embossing is gone. So again, I'm not trying to talk anyone into or out of anything. I'm just saying, please do not buy these only for the embossing. That's all I'm saying, because they will be gone and you'll be spent. And if you bought all of these, they are $86 a piece. So, depending on where you live, basically $90 a piece. So $90 a piece times 4 is $360. It's a lot of money. I don't even want to know what I spent because I bought the lip oil. Well, you'll see how much the lip oil is. I bought the lip oil, and I also bought one of the new loose powders, because they're travel loose powders, which I'll have in an upcoming video, which is a great idea, because I do like to travel with loose powder instead of pressed powder, and they're too big. The tub of Chanel powder is too big, and now it comes in a small size, which is great. All right, so I'm swatching. So yes, I mean, I'm not telling you not to buy it. I bought it, but it is my job now to do this, and especially when it comes to Chanel, because I worked for Chanel and I feel like I owe you guys at least that. I mean, and yes, I will be putting together a meetup for the holiday collection in Massachusetts. For those of you who went to the last one, I have your emails, so I will email you first because I already have your contact information. If it's something you're interested in, either you live close by or you're going to be in Massachusetts, it'll be in October. I don't have dates, but it's coming. Okay, 209, 219, 229, 239. The rest of the video will be focused on 229 Boutons Stellaire. If you're interested in seeing that one, just keep watching. We are doing an eye look with the 229 Boutons Stellaire. That's the best French I can do, guys. Okay, so according to Chanel, it mixes the magic and splendor of the stars with a rich, deep copper, a delicate light gold, a dazzling silver blue, and light ashy beige. So you can see from the swatches, this one is the most, I would say, cool leaning sparkly, almost. Even though the deep copper and the gold are, warm shades, I think they're not going to outplay the silvery blue in here. That's kind of what I'm saying. So you'll see when I do this, you'll be like, oh, I get it. That one is like the star of the show. I say that and it's Stellaire. But anyway, so this is the quad. Yeah, I'm cracking up from the heat. My brain is starting to shut off. All right, so we're gonna take the light ashy beige and we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna use that first up into the brow area. This, when I say it's light, like it almost doesn't show up on my skin tone. So on somebody who has a much deeper skin tone, it'll be a nice contrast shade. If you're looking for something that has like a little bit of that grayish, taupish, ashy beige. If you are somebody who is like me and you have light skin or fair skin, then this will be a shade that you can use as, a brow shade, which is basically kind of like the color of my skin, but it just, smooths out anything. Or you can use it on the lid as the same kind of thing. Smooths out any discoloration and then use another shade as like the accent for that. Now we're gonna take the rich coppery shade in just a second. I'm gonna take a little more of that and I'm gonna just put it into the crease. Now you're not gonna really see it because like I said, it's basically the color of my skin. And in person you can see it. On camera things don't exactly always translate, so we'll see. So I'm gonna take the rich copper shade and I'm gonna just kind of pounce it out here But remember, I put the ashy shade down first. And the reason I did that is I want to keep this not light, but I want to kind of keep it like a deep look, because for me right now in the summer, I just don't see me using these in a very like fall way. Now I know this is the fall collection, but it's 95 degrees. And the embossing is beautiful, as you can see from the pictures, but I am going through it pretty quickly. So just, again, I'm just gonna go into the crease with this. You can see how deep this particular shade is, because even on top of the ashy taupe shade, it shows up. Like it's a deep shade. It's not super pigmented, but it's definitely more pigmented than a lot of the shades that you see from Chanel. So I think, you know, that shade could definitely be the star of this if you didn't have that blue. If you didn't have that pale blue. And if you want to keep it very warm, just don't use the blue. Although that seems like a shame, but you could absolutely do that. All right, so now we're going to take the gold, and I want to show you what it looks like with just the gold to keep it warm. If that's, you know, something that you're interested in. I think personally, you're gonna buy this. I think you're gonna be interested in that blue shade, but maybe not. I mean, maybe you just really like the warm and the gold in here. It's entirely possible. Yeah, the embellishments on here are so cool looking, I have to say. The buttons are, I mean, I love Chanel ready-to-wear, so I don't have a lot of Chanel ready-to-wear, but I do love the buttons, especially the vintage buttons. Oh, they used to do beautiful things. Anyway. So this is what it would look like without that blue. A very beautiful gold leaning, really pretty look. Although warm, the light ashy beige underneath it all kind of neutralizes it so it's not super warm. Yes, of course, the gold, the yellow, gives it more of that warmth than the copper, but again, it's not like super warm, it's like super orange, because of the fact that you have that the ashy beige underneath. If you don't use that and you just use the copper and the delicate light gold, yeah, that's definitely gonna be warm. So, but as soon as I put the blue on, you're gonna see what this does. It changes the more of it you use is buildable, the cooler it gets. So, you have to decide kind of with this one, really where you want to focus. I could see me using this blue by itself with that ashy color as like an accent and the yellow on top, which I'm gonna do in just a second. I'm gonna put some of the gold, that sheer gold on top. But I want to show you, if you just brush it lightly, you get almost like a green because the gold and the blue mix. So this one is actually pretty versatile. You can actually do quite a bit with this one because the ashy shade and the blue shade are extremely cool. And the other shades, the sheer delicate gold and the copper, they can mix to become cooler, or you can have them be, you know, quite fall leaning warm. So this one I think has a lot of personality to it. I think this one is actually very unique, and I really like the combinations that you can do with it. I'm gonna take the delicate gold here and like put it on top. Yeah, you'll see when you do that, you get like almost like an aquamarine, like a teal. And it has a nice shift. So depending on how blue or how much blue you want to use or how little blue you want to use really changes the way this one looks. I will do a look in the coming weeks where I just use the blue and maybe like, you know, the ashy beige in here or another like brown in here to show you what that'll look like, because it's a very silver blue. Like it's definitely very cool leaning. It doesn't really, with the other shades, you get a very different look to it. Let me put on a little bit of mascara and then we will talk about a few things and wrap up. So I think the Stellaire has the most, I used the word personality before. I feel like this one is similar to the look that I got with the Chantecaille Diana trio. It has that kind of butterfly, like effervescent, luminescent. There's a word I'm looking for, which my brain, of course, no longer recognizes words, but there's a word that means very, almost like a butterfly wing and has like gossamer, sort of like this shimmery but see-through kind of texture. And I think you get that with this. It is very, very beautiful. I think it's really interesting the way the shades mix, because when you look at them, you're like, how do these go together? But it kind of ground, like the copper and the ashy beige kind of ground the other shades. And if you mix the blue and the yellow, you get more of this green, this like teal shade. And then if you want to keep it very warm, you can. And then if you want to have the cool tone, you can do the blue and the beige. And if you want it just to be that blue, icy, grayish shade, you can use that by itself. It does look really nice. I tried it out. So yeah, I really like this one. I think it's a unique quad. It does remind me a little bit of the other one from Chanel with the yellow in it. Delice. Similar kind of feel to it. I have to say, so far, all of the quads have performed exactly how they're supposed to. The shades that are supposed to be matte are creamy and easy to use. The sparkly shades are sparkly, like there's not a problem with the shimmery shades being, you know, piecey or anything like that. Really excellent formulas so far. So fingers crossed, they're all like that. These are $86 a piece. They are very, very limited edition. My hope is that they are going to do a replenishment of the stock. My understanding is this is the early release as this is being filmed. This is August 13th, 2025. And this will be the early release. So this is for, quote, VIP people who have bought quite a bit at Chanel and can early access. I mentioned this in a couple videos that I think brands are kind of going this way, that they're starting to have like their top tier members or purchasers be able to buy either exclusive gifts or get in early to buy a collection. I think that's the way a lot of brands are thinking because sales are down. So instead of making everything more affordable, they're instead making some things harder to get but easier for their top customers. Depends on how you feel about that, but I think that's part of this. Just saying. So again, $86, very, very limited edition. Hopefully there'll be a replenishment. Can't give you a guarantee that there will be. But if you are interested in any of these and you see them available, I would buy them when you see them. It's my best advice at this point. But always remember, it's just makeup. You know, there's always more makeup. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.